Hey guys, what's up? This is Tony from alphapursuits.com. In this video, we are going to talk about why NAT could be good for the wheel strategy. So let's talk about NAT. Let's start with some fundamental analysis and then we move on into technical. So NAT is a tanker company. It basically charters and acquires double hull tankers for crude oil mainly. So now the crude oil price is coming back. Likely, this stock will come back as well. But that's not really the reason why I found this stock attractive. First, it popped up on my screener because the IV percentile jump up all of a sudden for some reason, which we'll take a look at in a minute. But also, I like the fact that the price has been pretty steady in a sense. It doesn't drop right away. So this is not a high IV stock, I don't think. But for some reason, the IV is rising. So something seems to be going on, which is interesting because it's all-time low. So if it's not going any lower, just considering what's going on right now, most likely it's going to go higher. And looking at book per share 4.21, which makes sense because he owns a lot of tankers, and there's the value of the tankers, and that's above 3.2, which is nice to see. That does not necessarily mean when it goes bankrupt, you can sell the tanker as a book value. So obviously this is not 100% sort of de facto factor that makes me consider this stock, but still that's one of the key points that I look for this kind of company. And then there are other ways to value this company, from fundamental perspective, which I don't really get into it because it takes way too much time, and that's not really the way I trade. I just want to make sure the company doesn't go bankrupt because obviously it's near all-time low. And so, by just looking at book per share, cash per share, and then how much debt that he has, which is, he has quite a bit of debt, which is not good, but at the same time, looking at the news, looking at what people are saying. So, I use Seeking Alpha. So it's easy to analyze with all these articles that people already summarize, what they think. So you basically read these articles without taking into their opinion, just read the fact because they already summarize a lot of things for you. So, instead of the need to go dig by yourself, you can just use Seeking Alpha, read these articles, and very quickly you can get the information that you need. And also it has the list of recent news, and you can see right away, board member purchases shares, and this happened pretty recently, December. So it's another good sign that this is definitely a good candidate for the wheel strategy. Now let's take a look at technical analysis. So as I mentioned earlier, IV percentile spiked quite substantially recently. So it showed up on my radar. And as always, what I like to do is I like to start with the weekly chart by drawing support and resistance line. So as we can see, the stock price dropped substantially when COVID-19 happened, and it stick around, close to $1.50, and then it recovered somewhat back towards the end of summer, beginning of fall, and it has been stable around that level. And now the crude oil is recovering. Crude oil price is recovering. Maybe that's why all of a sudden the implied volatility jumped. So then we will take a look at option chain in a bit to see exactly what's going on there. So as far as we can see, the volume is ticking up, as we can see, even though the price is going down. And looking at the daily chart, so similar kind of trend with the money flow index. So it considers not just the price, but also the volume. It's starting to go up, even though the price hasn't moved much yet. And MACD seems to be stabilizing here, and RSI stable as well. And then TTM squeeze. I mean, it's not squeezing, but it seems to stabilize. The drop has stabilized, and so possibly it might go back up pretty soon. And also, we can see from weekly chart here, the ADX. So basically, we're looking at a trend here. There is no trend, not really a clear trend anymore. And you can see, as you can see, whenever it goes down, it comes back up. Goes down, it comes back up. So it's kind of pretty close to the bottom. So that's another indication that it might go back up. ATR, same kind of picture here. So, whenever it goes down, then it comes back up. So it has been going down, 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 down. So who knows? It might go up pretty soon. But then again, I don't really care how high it would go. What I really care about is it doesn't go any lower. If you have read some of the articles that I wrote on my website, alphapursuits.com, you can see that I primarily focus on selling put when it comes to the wheel strategy. I don't like to hold the stock for a long time and selling call. Selling covered call. I don't really do that. I primarily focus on selling put more. So, if I get assigned, yes, I would hold the stock and then I will just continue sell covered call until to the point where I break even or maybe a little bit higher than that. But I don't plan to hold the stock longer. I rather go and look for other opportunities that I can sell put and continue to make 10% a month's return, kind of return of rate, rather than looking for something that could trend higher or something that has potential of taking off. And the reason for that is twofold. One, I'm not very good at that. I'm not really good at predicting whether the stock is going, high or continue will go high based on the trade history that I have. I know I'm not good at that, so I don't even try to do that. And second is really, rate of return and diversification. So what I like to do is I like to look for a lot of stocks where I can sell put rather than focusing and trying to dig and find only a few stock that might trend higher. Anyway, we got derailed a little bit. So coming back here, again, like I said, what I'm trying to focus on is make sure that it doesn't go any lower, and even if it does, looks like probably $2, 1.5 would be the level. So I will size my position accordingly, considering, okay, how much will I lose? In this case, if it goes down there, and it will be 50%. So obviously I'm not going to deploy 100% of my capital. I will just be sizing it appropriately for this particular stock. Now let's take a look at the option chain. So as I said, implied volatility doesn't seem to be a high implied volatility stock, but the implied volatility percentile jumped quite a bit. So looks like something's going on underneath the hood, which we don't really know what's going on. But nonetheless, if the implied volatility percentile is going up, obviously the premium is going up. So this is higher the better for us. And looking at the return of investment for 40 days, if you do a cash secured put, if you short put with a cash secure account, you will translate into you're risking 3,000 to make about 210, so that's about 7% return. And obviously, if you have a margin account, that will be even higher. So it's not spectacular, but 40 days, 7%. I think that's not too bad. So that's it for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumb up. Leave a comment if let me know what you think. Any positive, negative comments, I would like to hear from you. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you will get a notification for the next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.